In this video, we'll take a somewhat extended look at setting up an online Dropbox form for collecting digital student work. If you recall, this process will result in a spreadsheet that you can use as a teacher that contains all of your students, all of their ID numbers, what class they're in, the assignment that they're submitting, and then a clickable link of the student's exact work that you can review online. The neat thing about this process is that the student is presented with a page based upon the class that they select. So if they choose Honors Physics, they're going to get the Honors Physics assignment list and a submission page. If they were to select a different course, they're going to get the assignment list for that particular course. So it's kind of nice because it's easy for the students to not, or to only stay within assignments that are for their particular course or so. So in this video, we're going to look at how to actually set this thing up. It does take a little bit of time the first time, but it's also only a process that needs to be done each time you want to create this spreadsheet. It could be once for the whole year, it could be once for a single semester, or you could also choose to set this up each quarter if you'd like. So let's get started. In your drive, we'll need to create the form. Select Create Form. A new form will open up. You can choose a theme if you'd like. And you can give your form a title. If you'd like to automatically collect students' usernames, leave this check mark on and mark the second checkbox as well. This will require students to be logged into their Gmail account before they access your form. The nice part is that this will give you some validation of any assignments that are submitted. First question should be the student's name. And if you include any help text, this will appear below the prompt that students get. This is just a text field, so you can have that formatted however you'd like. It's advised to set this as a required question so that students must put something in the text box in order to submit their survey. Once you're happy with how this looks, click Done. The next item should be also a text box, and it's advisable to use this as the ID number. It's also recommended to use this as a required question. The purpose of this process is to ensure that the students are submitting work in their own name. The next item needs to be a multiple choice list. This list should contain all of the possible classes that you wish to collect digital assignments from. We'll set this as a required question as well. The student's response for this question will determine what page the students will be presented with on the next section. Before we can establish which page these responses link to, we need to create those other pages. What we'll do is we'll create one page per course, not per section, but per course, since most assignments are common across periods that contain the same course. To add a new page, we'll go to Insert and choose Page Break. So for this next page, we see that in this particular example, this teacher has two Algebra 1 classes, so we'll make an Algebra 1 assignment page. The two questions we need on that particular page are first, the actual list of assignments that the students can choose from, in the option boxes here, you can start typing your assignment titles, And this is also where you can come back and edit as you add more assignments in your course. Once that's done, we need to give students a place to submit the URL. I recommend using the paragraph text, as that will provide the student with plenty of space to cut and paste the URL. And at that point, students can submit assignments for their Algebra 1 course. This teacher also has Algebra 2 and Pre-Calc CP, so we'll have to set up identical pages for those two courses. Go to Insert, Page Break, and now we'll set up the Algebra 2 Honors course. Once your Algebra 2 page is set up, we can create the same questions as we did for Algebra 1. We need an assignment list and then a place for students to paste in their URL. So we're going to add in a list option. And we can add in the area for students to include their URL. Finally, we'll set up the last course, which is the Pre-Calc class. Insert, Page Break. And our standard 2 items. Now that our pages are all set for each of our courses, we can now direct the student to the appropriate page based on the class they select in this question. We're going to edit this question, and we're going to select to go to page based on answer. So now that we've selected to go to page based on answer, we can choose the page that we want to send the students. If they're taking either the Algebra 1 classes, we want to send them to the Algebra 1 page. So in this particular case, if they choose Period 1 Algebra 1, we're going to send them to the Algebra 1 page. Same goes for this option. Send them to the Algebra page. For the next one that says Algebra 2, we're going to send them to the Algebra 2 page. And then for the Pre-Calc option, we're going to send them to the Pre-Calc page. At that point, what we need to do is send students to the end once they complete each of these pages. So they just submitted an Algebra 1 assignment. We need them to be done at that point. After this page, we'll send them to submitting the form. Same thing here. After they complete this one, we're going to submit the form. After students submit their Pre-Calc assignment, if that's the class that they're taking, they'll submit that form. Last option is it may not be necessary to show the link to submit another response, since students will probably only be completing one assignment each day, although you can select that out to keep it on if you'd like. You can also include a personal message here if you'd like students to get a personal message when they submit a form. At that point, your form is ready to go. It is advisable to test the form by clicking View Live Form here. This will give you the option to kind of see whether it's working as intended. If they select Algebra 2 Honors, the next page they should be looking at is the Algebra 2 Honors page, where they can include their assignment and then the URL that they're using. They should also see the Submit button at that point, because that's it as far as their assignment submission. It's highly unlikely that they'll submit an assignment for Algebra 2 Honors and an assignment for Pre-Calc, although that might possibly happen. Once this is done, we can give our form a title. And the form is ready to go. When you click the View Live Form option, the URL that appears at the top is the URL that you need to broadcast to students via whatever mechanism you use to get URLs to students. The last step is to set up a spreadsheet. If you have not already done so, select the Choose Response Destination option here. This is going to automatically create a spreadsheet that the form will use to dump its responses in. The default is going to be the same name as your form, and Google's going to automatically add the option responses at the back end. This is a nice way to organize both your form and spreadsheet in your drive. Choose Create. And once the form is created, or I'm sorry, once the spreadsheet is created, you'll now see the spreadsheet here along with the word responses that is connected to the form. When you open up the spreadsheet, you'll see all the questions along the top. As students begin submitting the form, they'll get the timestamp, the username will be automatically collected, and then all the student data that they enter will be included in these rows. To make it easy to organize your spreadsheet, it's recommended that you turn the filter feature on for the entire spreadsheet. To do that, click on this box here to select the entire spreadsheet, and then hit the filter button. It will automatically add these little arrows in each of the columns, and then once the fields are populated, you can click that little arrow to choose which fields you'd like to filter in your view. When you do that filter, it will hide everything other than the options that you check here so that it becomes easy to see the student work. For more information or any questions on this process, please contact Computer Services.